Hello, I'm Tori. The character we will analyze this time is Gouki from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Gouki has been appearing since Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and there has never been a character in the history of fighting games that has been so cool. The character's appearance and performance are executed flawlessly, perfectly aligning with the intended settings. However, compared to other characters, it was overwhelmingly strong, making it an unfortunate character that was banned in tournaments and practice rooms. First, I will explain how to select Gouki. Wait for 2 seconds on T-Hawk, then 2 seconds on Guile, 2 seconds on Cammy, and 2 seconds on Ryu. Next, press the start button while on Ryu, then simultaneously press all 3 punch buttons. If successful, Ryu's profile picture will change to Gouki, allowing you to select him. Be careful, as it's easy to make mistakes when pressing the 3 punch buttons. Now, let's take a closer look at Gouki, who is so overwhelmingly powerful that he is banned from tournaments. The first move is Ho Hadouken Power. The command is the same as Ryu and Ken's Ho Hadouken. But, while the command is the same, Ryu and Ken's Hadouken have different performance. The performance of Gouki's Ho Hadouken is definitely different from Ryu's and Ken's Ho Hadouken. When using a fireball or a mid to long range energy attack, it functions similarly to Ryu's Ho Hadouken. However, if you hit the opponent with the energy wave within a certain distance, they will be knocked down. This means that even a normal fireball, not a special move, can knock the opponent down. In a fighting game, knocking down an opponent provides a significant advantage, allowing for better positioning and offensive pressure. This could be considered overpowered in terms of game balance. You must be close enough to land the Ho Hadouken quickly and knock down your opponent. However, the knockdown distance of Gouki's Ho Hadouken is more than twice that of Ryu's. If you get knocked down like this by a Ho Hadouken, you can imagine how bad the situation would be, right? Next is the Zankuu Hadouken, which elevates Gouki to a demonic level of performance. The command is just to input the Ho Hadouken command while jumping, so it is incredibly easy. Even if you mindlessly throw it, it still applies immense pressure, though the damage is relatively low. In this game, the co-op at the highest difficulty is so challenging that regular characters go through hell. However, with Gouki, simply using Zankuu Hadouken effectively can make the game feel casual. In the Super Street Fighter 2 system, countering this technique is nearly impossible. The opponent is busy defending, while Gouki is running around playing the game by himself. In the Super Street Fighter 2, when using a jumping basic attack, you may get swept down by a low attack. This is something even Gouki cannot avoid, but there is a way to overcome this. By releasing a long fireball attack before landing, you can block a lower attack without a single frame of delay. It is not limited by any specific conditions, guarding is 100% possible. As you just saw with the low guard, there is absolutely no landing lag after using Zankuu Hadouken. Because of this, if the fireball gets nullified, the opponent is left completely vulnerable. At close range, you can immediately throw another projectile, but you can also land a full combo. In this way, you can knock down the opponent with a one-sided advantage frame. Zankuu Hadouken isn't just used for keep away and retreating, it becomes even more impressive when applying corner pressure. If you guard against the Zankuu Hadouken, you will be momentarily stunned and unable to move. If you block while standing, you won't be able to switch to a low guard during the stun period. So you must choose one or the other. Gouki doesn't have any special overhead attacks, and Zankuu Hadouken can be blocked low, so you can choose to guard while crouching. However, if you do, you will get destroyed by a jumping basic attack. Perform a jump attack that forces your opponent into the boundary line, causing their death. Next is Gouki's Ho Shoryuken. Even when used with Dragon Punch, it deals massive damage, and it can even block cross-up attacks. Gouki was hit from behind, but you can see the performance of throwing all 3 wins. Even if you only slightly hit the large attack, the opponent's stamina quickly hits the floor like this. Next is Gouki's Raging Demon Kick. Ryu and Ken have Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, but Gouki's move has a slightly different name. In the case of Gouki, the performance of the heavy punch is very good. It has full invincibility for an impressive 11 frames. They really raised the performance to a dangerous level. If you use a medium Tatsumaki kick, you can follow up with a light Shoryuken for an extra hit. And if this combo lands successfully, you can immediately set up a Zankuu Hadouken, putting Gouki in an overwhelmingly favorable position. Additionally, when a heavy Tatsumaki kick hits, you can chain it into a medium Tatsumaki kick and then connect a light Shoryuken. While it is possible to add an air Tatsumaki kick as a stylish combo extension, it deals little damage and is quite difficult to execute. Next is Gouki's special move, the Shakunetsu Hadouken. This is one of the techniques that has a powerful impact. However, there is a technique that enhances the power of Gouki's demonic wave motion punch. In Street Fighter 2 Turbo, some characters' moves change depending on the basic inputs used for the fireball. The characters that can use this technique are Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Sagat, and Gouki. I will show you this match once with Ryu. I will use Hadouken after the strong punch. I will show you slowly. You can see player 1 jumping much later. I will try the same with a light base. Although player 1 is at a frame disadvantage, they recover from stun faster than a heavy normal attack. This time, let's compare the recovery frames with the main character, Gouki. It is a strong base attack. You can see the movement where the general jumps aggressively first. We will see light normal attack recovery frames. You can see the crazy move of jumping ahead of the general. By using this technique, if you make the opponent guard a light normal attack followed by a Shakunetsu Hadouken in the corner, you can either go for a throw or force them into an infinite guard string. The general cannot move because of the guard duty and must guard until he dies. For a character as oppressive as Gouki, he also has a very special movement technique. That technique is none other than Ashura Senkuu. The special offer is invincible from the start of the action until it is in motion. There is a slight delay after the technique is over, but how many characters can truly keep up with this kind of long-distance movement? Ashura Senkuu is a movement skill that allows both advancing and retreating. You can also use Ashura Senkuu's special property to forcibly control positioning. If you set up a trap like this and utilize Ashura Senkuu's special property, there are times when it becomes difficult to judge the positioning based on distance. Have you ever seen the character's position suddenly reverse? It clearly went back, but there are times when it comes back forward. This time it just goes back completely. How confusing would it be? However, Ashura Senkuu has a fatal bug. Player 1 can use Ashura Senkuu to cross over when player 2 is in the right corner. However, if player 2 is in the left corner, player 1's Gouki cannot cross over with Ashura Senkuu. This bug is not only applicable to player 1, but also to player 2 in the same way. Instead, think of the content as the opposite of player 1. That is, player 2 can cross over to the left corner, but cannot cross over to the right corner. Next is the stun recovery. Usually, when you get stunned, you have to rapidly press the lever and button to recover quickly. Gouki only indicates that his stun gauge is full, but does not actually get stunned. He recovers instantly. There is no need to mash buttons. Even without pressing anything, you can see him recovering from stun immediately. Although Gouki shares almost everything with Ryu, his heavy kick has better hit properties. In a simple heavy kick exchange, Gouki will never lose to Ryu. I will continue to try. Ryu fought until his strength was exhausted, but he never won once. Next is the half guard break bug. Gouki's air Tatsumaki has a 1-frame startup, making it sometimes impossible for the opponent to guard, even if they attempt to block. It shows that normal attacks are being blocked successfully. Despite being a common technique, air Tatsumaki has this kind of bug. Cross-up Tatsumaki is also possible, and with its overwhelming performance, even aerial combos can be executed. It is no wonder he made an appearance in Tekken 7. We looked into Gouki, a character who has been banned from the tournament like this. I think everyone now clearly knows why Gouki has become a banned character. While making this video, I was reminded of the Japanese top-tier player Bananaman, whom I faced back in Poké. I was so frustrated that I chose Gouki and eventually beat Bananaman, but he immediately quit. Now I understand why this friend quit, and I feel sorry for no reason. I will leave a link to that video in the card, so feel free to visit and watch it if you are curious. That is all from Tori. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to leave a comment. I really appreciate it. Thank you.